Royals baseball from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, where the Royals and the Indians have split the first two games of this season-ending four-game series. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel and Monty are coming up. And we opened last night saying that it would take us a long time to talk about all the improvements the Royals have made as a team and individually. But since Jacob Junis is pitching tonight, let's just talk about how he's improved this year.
Why not? But you don't see the improvements until you fail. Sounds funny, but that's how the game is. Early in the season this year, Junis was giving up home run left, home run right. He was having a hard time keeping the ball in the ballpark. He made some adjustments. He figured out a few things, and it's showing. He's using more fastballs, and that sets up his most dominant pitch, that slider. Look at that ERA. Last 9 starts, are you kidding? That's outstanding work. But really, he's mixing up it, but the main thing in the game of adjustments, he's making them.
And Jacob admires Corey Kluber and models himself after Corey Kluber, and that's who he's matched up with against tonight. And 19 players coming out and signing autographs for our Gloves for Kids event at the Urban Youth Academy. And even HUD was out there. Thanks for coming, HUD. Appreciate that.
You kidding me? That was the highlight of the day, even after we see this win here tonight.
And if they get a win tonight, it would be with Corey Kluber on the mound for the Indians. He won the Cy Young in 2014. He won the Cy Young again last year, and he's got those kind of numbers again this year.
Yeah, this guy is a tremendous talent in our era. That's for sure. Now, the overall goal for the Cleveland Indians is not to win the game tonight. For Kluber, he wants to win a world title. And so in order for him to do that, he's going to have one more little brush up before the playoffs start. But he's going to have a hard time here at the K. He has at least over a 6 ERA in his starts here. Now, in Cleveland, this hadn't been a problem. But he knows the Royals can be dangerous, and they might be looking to get him tonight.
And he can begin by trying to shut down Whit Merrifield. 2 more games until the end of the regular season, and Whit trying to become the first in Royals history to lead the league in hits and stolen bases.
when that has happened at Kauffman Stadium. 8.5 minutes till first pitch. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, and the first batter that Corey Kluber will face in the bottom of the first has a lot on the line statistically. Man, oh man, where do you begin with Whit Merrifield?
Well, with Whit, you'd love to find a way to get on base via a hit and then hopefully steal a base or two and really kind of pad those numbers so he can be the first Royal in history to lead the league in stolen bases and in hits. And I think that'll be a really cool thing. The really nice thing about this is Whit's first full season. I think a lot of times we forget that, but he's put up some numbers. Once you do it in early in your career, now it's expected every year. Not that he's going to lead the league in hits or stolen bases every year, but at least you kind of create that benchmark, that milestone to shoot for.
JD Martinez is behind him in hits. He already played today and does not have any hits. So fans will enjoy Whit, and the Royals, they're loving all these fans that are here. Big crowd, fan appreciation night, hoodie giveaways, and baseball coming up next.
Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. We've had two completely different games. The Royals walked off in game one in a close one, 2-1. And then it was close for a while last night, but then the Indians scored 10 in the 7th inning and won 14-6. Game 3, Kluber and Junis is next. 72 degrees. It is cloudy, but the rain has been taken out of the forecast, and it'll be a little warmer tomorrow for the season finale with a high in the low 80s. Terry Francona goes with basically the same lineup as last night, and why not? The Indians scored 14 runs on 16 hits, and the only change tonight is at catcher. Yan Gomes is in there, replacing Roberto Perez. Even with the loss last night, the Royals have won 4 of their last 5 as they continue to finish strong. And they continue to play well here at Kauffman Stadium, having won 14 of their last 18 here. And we have a nice crowd for Fan Appreciation Night.
Yeah, you know what? Perfect night for it, too, as Jacob Junis toes the slab for his last start of the season. But these fans, they are excited, they're amped, and this is exactly how you want to finish on a 100-loss season. Really? I mean, you know what? There's a lot of energy here. It's not a bad place to be. Junis, we all know he's a solid, composed pitcher, but his fastball command has been really good, especially in his last 9 starts. He's going after hitters, and then he's setting them up with that beautiful slider, and the league's only hitting 181 off of that. Forward around the horn, Royals defense. All 3 Royals outfielders, Bonifacio, Goodwin, and Gordon, they've combined for 232 games combined, only 4 errors between all of them. They've been fantastic. Now, Maybers Beloria, he's getting one more look behind the plate for manager Ned Yost. He's looked pretty sharp defensively.
This will be start number 4 for Jacob Junis against the Indians this year, and they knocked him all over the block in the first 2. 11 innings and 13 earned runs, but he bounced back on September the 3rd. He threw 7 scoreless innings with a lot more fastballs than he had in his first 2 starts. Getting back to your point, where in the second half it's been more of his fastball than his slider.
And you know, hitters love that pitch more than any, but if you have command of it and you keep it in on quality starts, that means, quality strikes, that means outside of the strike zone, you're going to have success.
Francisco Lindor has been relatively quiet compared to what he's done in his career against the Royals. 2 hits, 2 walks, and a couple of runs scored in the first 2 games. It's interesting, the Indians lineup, as Junis makes his first pitch, and it's right down the middle for a strike. It is a combination of hitters who have done either very well against Junis or very poorly against Junis. Lindor is on the good side, but he pulls it on the ground, and now Dozier sprints back, and Merrifield had to wait for him to get there. And with 2 pitches, Junis has his first out.
Hey, you know, it's all about communication. Dozier's been over there at the hot corner at third for a while, but that's what you take care of before the pitch is even thrown. Up to Merrifield to tell Dozier, hey, Dozier, anything hits soft right here, I got it. Go to the base. That helps.
Okay, well then what does he say if they're not in Boston?
Dozier, hey!
There we go.
And Merrifield doesn't have a Boston accent. I don't know where that came from. But that's important. Same thing here, but they're talking now. It's all good. Communication.
Michael Brantley did not start the first game of the series and was 1 for 4 last night. And a base hit into left field. Took a fastball down the middle the other way. He is on with 1 out.
Two-seam fastball down the middle, well struck. Perfect swing.
Oh. And there was only 1 guy to get it past on the left side of the infield. The Royals were stacked on the right side. A little bit low to Jose Ramirez. He's had another fantastic season, and yet he is stumbling to the finish line. It's been a struggle for him now for over a month. Brantley runs, and that's grounded through the left side. So the Indians with Ramirez try a hit and run, and it works. So with one out, Brantley and Ramirez go the other way to put runners at the corners.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of work there. Left side of the infield wide open, almost identical pitch to Brantley. He's able to hit it, but I love his focus of hitting it on the ground.
And that used to be a good way to get a guy out of a slump. Put the hit and run on. And Ramirez, over his previous 38 games, was hitting 161. That's a rather deep slump.
It used to be to help a guy get out of slump, still is. There's a lot of things that's changed in baseball, but there's a lot that haven't.
That goes to the backstop, but only Ramirez moves up.
Ninth wild pitch by Junis. Wasn't expecting it there. Took him out of the double play, like you said, but look, he really pulled this slider. Wow. Valoria tried to do all he could to get a glove on it. Couldn't even do that. Ball kicked right back. Good call there by Brantley to stay home. Be careful here. First inning. Junis' slider and his fastball a little bit up. Let's see. Keep it out of the zone here. You don't want to give them an early lead.
2 balls, no strikes. Encarnacion has started only 1 game. He is 1 for 4 with an RBI. 32 home runs, 106 RBIs this year. That's the 3rd highest RBI total in the league. And he was going for it all. 2-1. His teammate Jose Ramirez is right behind him. And then it's a pretty big jump up to Chris Davis and JD Martinez. In the air to center field. And the Royals are telling Goodwin to play it to third, which he does. So Encarnacion picks up his 107th RBI, and the Indians lead 1-0.
Edwin looking above the belt. He's looking up there because that's what he wants to do, get one airborne. He got one right down the middle. Junis missing in the middle. This is the first inning.
And up comes Josh Donaldson with a runner at second base. Donaldson hit a grand slam in the Indians' 10-run 7th inning last night, the 5th of his career. And he's whacking away at the first pitch. 0-1.
I really enjoy watching hitters, all of them, get ready before the pitch, because that really tells you a lot about how relaxed they are. But Donaldson really likes to shift his weight from his front foot to his back foot. Mainly he's on his front foot a lot. He's got a nice little rocking pattern. Watch him rotate left side, right side. Look at his both heels going up. It's got a little rhythm. You have to have it.
Fooled by a slider. 0-2.
Timing, rhythm.
Off the end of the bat and in and out of the Royals dugout. Right into your living room.
Oh, good shot.
That away, John. What hat tonight? That should be a feature next year. What hat is John wearing tonight? 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hey,
does that ring a bell for you?
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like John too.
The Charleston Charlies.
Okay.
Slider got him. So the Indians get 1 out of it on the Encarnacion sacrifice fly. And we'll see how the Royals do tonight against Corey Kluber. tonight. Ryan O'Hearn will be the designated hitter, so Salvador Perez with that sore left thumb is out of the lineup tonight. He will play tomorrow. Alcides Escobar is at third as Hunter Dozier shifts over to first, and Maybreeze Valoria will bat ninth against Corey Kluber. 20 wins, second in the major leagues. He has the fourth best ERA in the American League. He has thrown the most innings in the American League and has the sixth most strikeouts. Aside from that, he has been batting practice this year for the American League.
Well, look, his ERA is over 6 in this yard against the Royals, and that's what they're going to look for. Look at that opponent average on first pitch put in play. Go ahead, be ready. Get him before he gets you.
2-0 on Witt, who has hit safely in each of the first 2 games. So he has an 18-game hitting streak. With a base hit tonight, he'll tie his career high. That was in the middle of May through early June last year. Two balls, one strike. And he's the subject of our Toyota League leaders. He has a 3-hit lead over JD Martinez for the most hits in the American League. JD Martinez was hitless in his game today. And a base hit into center field. 19 in a row and 190 hits on the year.
Woo-hoo. Congratulations, keep it rolling. Best thing to do when you got a hitting streak, get him that first time up. I mean to tell you, that two-seamer, he challenged him, and Witt said, hey, look, Chuck and Duck, watch out. Coming right back at you. Clean. Best hit you can get. Means you barreled it perfectly. Right back up the middle.
Here's Adalberto Mondesi. And Witt wanted to go right away. He was trying to get a walking lead. And if you can pick a spot where you think Kluber is going to be throwing his slider, that's a good pitch to run on.
And that's exactly right. The off-speed pitches take longer to get to the plate. Sometimes they're in the dirt, makes it more difficult for the catcher. Although Yan Gomes, he's pretty good. Oh no! Go, keep going!
And he does!
We talked about it. We've shown him how he really will manipulate the pitcher and get a jump before he even starts. Well, he tried the same thing there and just keep going. Somebody alerted him, yelled, and by the time Kluber could get the ball over there to Alonso, too late.
So he extends his American League lead with 43, and now he's tied for the Major League lead with Trey Turner of the Nationals. Mondesi bunts, but it's in the air, and Kluber is there for the out.
Cleveland Indians defense, they've been good this year. Now Michael Brantley, the left fielder, he's had the previous 2 seasons was hurt. He's had a nice bounce back year. This is 133rd start in left field tonight. Francisco Lindor, aka Mr. Smile, one of the best baseball players in the world, period, on both sides of the ball.
Alex Gordon with Merrifield at second base, 1 out. To left field. Brantley is back to the track to make the play. 2 outs.
Mondesi gets the bunt down. There's a run. It's tied up. Something they'll have to clean up, you know, have to get that going. Last night they failed an opportunity like that on the leadoff double by Salvi early off of Clevenger.
The so-called little things
turn into large things.
So now it's up to Dozier. Hunter is 2 out of 7 with an RBI in the first 2 games. And a cutter cut the outside edge. Well, one thing about Mondesi, even though his bunting has a ways to go, he's not afraid to bunt, and he's not afraid to bunt more than once in a game. He looks bound and determined to figure that out. There goes Witt to third. So he gets another stolen base, and that would give him the major league lead. Kluber essentially just gave him third.
Yeah, and Yan Gomes says, I'm going to save it. With 2 outs, why would I risk throwing the ball away?
And now the 0-2. Good swing and a slider away. Statcast AI, powered by AWS.
There's nobody right there. Let's go. Think in the middle. Go right back up the mound with it. Shorten up your swing. A lot of things Ned Yost was talking about today in his meeting. One of them was Dozier working on his little 2-strike approach. Shorten up, put the ball in play. That's it. That's not bad. Shorten up his swing. And you know, for a big, strong guy like Dozier, who really hasn't even tapped his power potential, for them to ask him to shorten up and put the ball in play with 2 strikes is really good at this stage in his development.
One ball, 2 strikes.
For the most part, in Major League Baseball, you can throw away the 2-strike approach. There's not too many guys who are doing that. But for Ned Yost and his team to have success and get back to the promised land, that's going to be their style of ball. Put it in play.
Late movement on a fastball, catches the outside edge, according to home plate umpire Mike Estabrook. And the Royals are scoreless in the first.
Gallagher catching this week. Tonight it is the youngster 21-year-old Mabrys Valoria. Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout. No Salvador Perez behind the plate. That's been the case all week long. He's been a designated hitter, but tonight he has the night off, so you could read into this a little bit. Salvi DHing all week means that thumb has been bugging him a little bit more. Talking to him today, he said it does hurt more right now when he is catching than hitting, but if you look at it, he has still been so productive at the plate, but it really is bugging him. The goal right now in talking to him is that he wants to get out there tomorrow. Ned Yost knows he wants to get out there tomorrow, so give him a little bit of a break today. Try to get him in there tomorrow. And as for setting a personal home run record and 8 straight seasons of increasing in home runs, I asked him how important that is, and Salvi said it is very important to me. Be surprised not to see him in there tomorrow.
And to Ned Yost, Ned acknowledged that he is aware of Salvi being on the edge of a major league record.
Well, hopefully Carlos Carrasco knows that too. And that way. Got him. All right. Kerwin Danley says he went. What I mean by that is, hey, Carlos Carrasco, he's going to go up there, and can he challenge him? Go ahead, throw this hard fastball in there and challenge him. If he takes him deep, hey, no sweat off Carrasco. Good pitch there. Junis finishing him off. Kerwin, first year of Major League umpiring in 1992. He's been around, done well.
Back to the middle, and Melky Cabrera is just wearing out the Royals this year. He's on with 1 out. That makes him 11 out of 27 against the Royals this year.
First pitch, that's what he's looking for. You see the movement Junis is getting, and that's good. But he's putting it right over the heart of the middle, and they're not missing. Quality strikes on the corners, all 4 quadrants.
Here's Yan Gomes, Indians catcher. Outside for ball 1. Gomes started game 1 on Thursday and was 0 for 4. Roberto Perez started last night's game, and he drove in 3. Out over the plate and popped up.
Stay with it.
And out of play.
Oh. How's that neck ball feel?
Not as bad as your date ending up with the souvenir, and
he caught it with his neck.
And he I sure hope that's not a first date.
Look, that's a stinger. He's all right. All right, thumbs up. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Off the end of the bat, and that floats into shallow left center field. Melky Cabrera will stop at second base. Can't beat fun at the old ballpark, Hud.
Well, I could tell that hurt, and he played it off really well.
You hear that all the way up here.
I know. Off the end of the bat. The ball had some kind of English on it. And Melky at second, thought about going to third until he saw who was playing left. He says, I'm not going to go.
Two on, 1 out to Jason Kipnis. What do they say about big events that involve a team effort? Check your ego at the door. Jason Kipnis is going to have to do some of that. He's been the Indians' regular second baseman for years. He is not having a very good year. And now the Indians have gotten a new third baseman, which means their regular third baseman, Jose Ramirez, shifts to second, and that pushes Kipnis out of position. And now he's batting 9th. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, at this particular time in his career, and where the Cleveland Indians are, he's okay with it. He's not being selfish. He wants to win. That's the final stage a player gets in, and he's in that stage now. He's gotten paid already. He's had some success. It's usually about 3 stages.
Wicked slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That last-minute break gets under the bat.
That one was out over the plate, but Kipnis missed nonetheless. And that's Junis' 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, let's take another look at this here. Staying with it, that's his good pitch. I mean, that's his out pitch. This one was a little bit higher, and this time it went over the bat, not under the bat. So that's changing eye levels, they call that. But there's 4 stages a major leaguer goes through. wants and dreams to make it to the majors. Now he wants to stay. Third stage is, okay, I want to get paid. Last stage, win a championship, if you're lucky enough to get any of those. Some guys are.
Two on, two out. Francisco Lindor grounded out to second base to open the game. Two and 0. Ruled high. 3 balls, no strikes. Mike Estabrook is calling the balls and strikes. Got a pop up on 3-0. And Escobar waits and brings it down. So the Indians lead 2 in the second inning. Cleveland leads 1-0. Puig. That is in San Francisco, and that is a home run. And the Dodgers clinch a playoff spot. They win at San Francisco 10-6. Dodgers ended up coming back last night and beat the Giants, so Colorado's lead was 1 going into today. Now, at the moment, a half-game lead, and the Rockies will be playing at home later tonight against Washington. So the Dodgers are in. It's just a matter of whether it's as a member of the wild card game or the division winner in the West,
which is huge. 1 and done, or trying to win 3 out of 5. Oh.
0-2 on a borderline pitch from Corey Kluber to Ryan O'Hearn, who's the DH. And Ryan isn't so convinced that that was a strike. Wow, that's a heck of a strike zone there. Speaking of playoff teams, we've been updating key players who are either coming off the disabled list or injured late in the year. Tyler Anderson was scratched from a start on Monday with a shoulder issue. And pitching will be important in any series at Coors Field. Up the right field line, foul off the bat of Jorge Bonifacio.
That's right, official Major League Baseball. Yeah, that's worthy.
It's not official until you take a picture of it.
You're right.
Bonifacio is 0 for 4 in this series, and he is 2 for his last 27. Chops it out to Donaldson at third, who makes a impressive play as far as footwork goes, but the throw is offline. That's a base hit for Bonifacio, but I don't think Donaldson sees it that way.
No, he does have nice footwork, that's for sure, and showing some range there. But that's a tough, when you're spinning counterclockwise, you really got to aim that ball up the line to get it there.
Toward home up the line.
Right,
yep.
toward the line. Up, you know, yeah, that side.
So a man on for Brian Goodwin. Speaking of Donaldson, he hit a grand slam last night, and then Brian Goodwin hit a grand slam in the 9th inning. His second of his career, and the other one was this year. He hit one at Cincinnati on March 31st. Backing out of play, no balls, 2 strikes. You know, Brian hit 13 home runs for Washington last year.
It's got pop.
Kluber's getting that call all night. He has 3 strikeouts, all with that pitch. Fastball that either starts outside to a right-hand batter or inside to a left-hand batter, and then tails back over the edge.
I mean, he's getting some 3-4 inch run on that, and now that's going to go back to the dugout to those left-handed batters. They're going to say, hey, look, when you see it in off his release point, it's going to be hittable. Be ready for it.
Alcides Escobar swings and misses at a slider. This is Esky's first game in this series. On the road trip, he hit over 400 and comes in tonight with a 6-game hitting streak. 0-2. If the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Checked his swing on a high fastball. Bruce Dreckman says no swing.
I'd like to talk about that academy, but it's 2 outs. Need longer.
2 outs, 2 strikes.
That's right. Maybe Esky can hit a gapper.
Well, I'm guessing the word you would use is the one that I used the first time I went to the Urban Youth Academy. Impressive.
No question about it. No wonder it's the nicest academy in the country, because there's thought behind it. The Royals are behind it. Glass family, Dayton Moore, pour everything into that. Several great things are going to happen.
Chopped out to Lindor. Not in time. So the Royals have a couple of infield singles and have 2 on with 2 out.
Yeah, you know what? By the way he hit that, and when you're off balance sometimes, watch him. He's already leaning out of the box when he's running, so he's got to run and start. I had a feeling that with Lindor playing so deep, Esky could sniff that hit and got it. He earned it. Now make it hurt.
Mabry's Valoria, and he's faced Kluber. He was in the lineup earlier this year and went 0 for 2. And he hits one off the knuckles and into shallow right field. Mabry's Valoria drives in Bonifacio, and the Royals tie the game at 1.
Wasn't pretty, but he'll take it. Little jam shot, 87. Looked like an off-speed pitch, but it was elevated. And he was able to tag it, just get it up just high enough to get it over Ramirez's head. He likes to flip his bat.
Solid bat flip.
Yeah, it was nice. It was natural looking. I think those aren't planned. Take the stake. That's nice. His 3rd career RBI. Okay, get him. That was the Royals' key to win. Get that first pitch. Oh, sorry, Whit. Except for that one. Pressure's off for the day. Got his hit, got his streak going, and he's, feeling good. Wants a bonus right here. Tag one, get Junis the lead.
Who's going to take charge? It's Lindor to end the inning. 1 run, 3 hits. Mabry's Valoria ties the game with a single. And when we come back, Ian Kennedy will join us from the Royals dugout. Young Royals in the second half, but Ian Kennedy in his last 4 starts coming off the disabled list has an ERA under 3 on his batting average at 240. He was locked in a duel for the first 6 innings last night with Mike Clevenger. And Ian is going to join us tonight from the Royals dugout as Jacob Junis goes back to work. And he's outside to Michael Brantley. Hi, Ian. How are you?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Good. Well, how do you feel about your last 4 starts of the season?
Really happy. Coming off from the longest stint on the DL that I've ever had. You saw, like you guys mentioned, watching all the young guys pitch. I said earlier in the interviews and stuff that I wanted to kind of go back out there and do. I wanted to join the party and pitch along with them. And I was happy with how the last 4 outings, not last inning I pitched, but the other 6 innings before that were pretty good, and not the ending I wanted, but I kept our team in it for a long time, and a lot of the stuff we were working on while I was on the DL and talking to Cal quite a bit. were working when I came off the DL, so I was really happy.
You know, Ian, what was your thought process when you were sitting out watching? Were you doing some mentoring, and do you like to share secrets with the young guys that you're mentoring?
Yeah, because you have a lot of guys who, like Heath, who came up and he filled in like right when I got on the DL. He filled in, and you have Lopey in there, and you got to find a purpose when you're on the DL. You got to figure out something to do, and that was one of the things I want to do. I'm like, you know what? At least I can contribute and offer some information. If they have any questions about hitters they're facing, they're facing the American League lineups that we're facing, and they're facing them for the first time. You just want to offer any type of information you can, and whether you're, someone like Junie who's thrown for the first, and Keller too, from the very beginning to the year to the end, and that's what one of the first things I told Keller is that he has to watch his workload because it's going to become a long season. And that's the first thing I noticed while pitching in the big leagues. I hit a wall in my first big league season, and the workload that I was taught and watching other guys go through that, and it's it's a lot of fun, and I like passing along the information, and I want to see them have long careers too, and watch them when I'm done playing.
Of all the questions a young pitcher has asked you, what's the most common? What's the most common concern or advice that a guy in his first or second year needs from someone like you?
Let me see. Heath asked, like those outings when you don't feel like you have your stuff that day. He asked, like, what does it take, or what do you notice that you have to do in order to keep your team competitive in that game? If you have your C stuff or even your D stuff that day, and you're grinding through those outings, a lot of things that you just have to experience. And I watched Andy Pettit do it. Andy Pettit gave me information that he's like, you have your A stuff, you have all 4 pitches working for you that day, you're supposed to win those games. And you notice that if you have your C stuff that day, you just have one pitch, or you have one pitch and one out pitch. Usually you have a good day, but if you just have, sometimes you feel like you go out there with nothing, and you have to compete. You have to try to win the ball game. Sometimes you don't succeed, but there's a lot of times I can say that I did pretty bad at, but for the most part, you're trying to go out there, and like Andy said, those become your favorite games to pitch, because you can look back and you're like, I gave my team a chance to win today, and we kept them close. Whether you give up 5 runs and we score 5 runs and you come out and you're winning, those are the games you cherish the most, because you grinded your butt off all game, you worked all week for that, and hopefully you don't have those again the next start. You have the A stuff. So for me, having those days where you're kind of grinding through a start and your team wins, those are more gratifying.
Sliced up the line and fair. So Ramirez will be at second base with 1 out. Go ahead, Ian.
I was saying, I'm not going to lie, I'd love to have those A days as many times as possible. And sometimes you have it for a whole month, and then sometimes you have it like my May, where I felt like I was going out there and I had no command, which usually I feel like my fastball command is usually there, and but then there's some days like a whole month where you're going out there, your delivery's off, and you're finding, like, you're working with Cal and all those guys. Skoglund I don't really work with, because he's throwing seeds at me right now, and Keller too. But talking to Cal about your delivery and trying to work on things, trying to get better, those are the times that you cherish, and in between starts, and you finally find it, then you get on a roll again. So that's what I try to tell these guys in our bullpens, and our starters, we stay pretty close knit, and we try to understand each other and what makes us click. So when we're watching Junie, if he's off a little bit, and Cal usually sees everything, but we go up there and I talk to him, and we try to.
Here's Dozier making the play, and 2 down. Hud, I know you had another question.
I did. Ian, this is the Royals are your 4th team that you've been with, and really the first time you had a chance to become a free agent and sign here. What's the advantage of playing with different organizations?
Just seeing a lot of the different types of organizations, how they run, the cities. I played in San Diego. You can't really beat the weather, and it was like kind of vacation every time you were there. But you know, just the different advantages, like New York being, like, I grew up really quick there. I was 22, 23, and you have to grow up with the media pretty quick. And I kind of got worn out a little bit early on in my career, but I learned. And then I went to Arizona. I had a great run there. We went to the playoffs. It's a lot of fun, so I had a lot of really good memories there. But you know, coming to a city like Kansas City, where the fans really love their town, love their Royals, they love their Chiefs, the football stadium. You know, that's their team, and I love living here because I get to have at least a football team in the off season to cheer for.
It's Saturday night, and it's appropriate that we're talking to you on a Saturday night, because I know last year you and your wife Allison sponsored groups in the dugout suite just to your right, and your own money. And not to pick on anybody else, but there are programs where it's a player's program, but they're not paying for it. But not only has Ian been very generous, but he and Allison have moved to Kansas City. They're Kansas Cityans and had their 5th child here.
Yeah, that's right. We had Isaac here. He's our first Kansas-born child. A couple Arizona kids, California kid. Now we got a Kansas boy. So, but like living here, like you said, we have a group out here in from the USO Fort Riley here tonight, and just it's our thank you to our military, our first responders. You know, sometimes we have City Union Mission here. We just try to, every city we go to, we want to dive into the community and give back as much as we can. And military has always been close to our heart. I mean, we wouldn't have this great country without our military. And like tonight, they have a bunch of their kids here, their wives, and a lot of times they don't get to have their, you know, their date night or these memories to, you know, sit by Dozier over here at first base and watch Junis pitch a ball game, and hopefully we get a win for them. And they come away with some merchandise, and like I said, it's our little thank you, the least we can do, as Allison and I can do, and we just thank them so much, and that's all we can do.
Well, it's more than a little thank you, I can tell you that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Way to go.
And by the way, Ian, you can't see it, but we're showing them now in the suite.
Oh, good.
They have plates of food, and they're smiling, and they're having a great time.
Good. Yeah. Today was a lot of kids. I like seeing all the kids here, and you know, a lot of times this is their first ball game they get to come to, and hopefully it's like I said, it's a Royals win.
Yeah. Hey, Ian, you know the importance of giving back. Do you share that with these young first-year players, the importance of attaching themselves to some type of organization or somewhere they can give back to?
Yeah, it took me a little while to finally do it, and a lot of times I don't share that. If they see me disappear, like early on and right before the game, and they see me come back, they ask where I'm at, but that's pretty much the only time I offer that. Like Lope asked me, and you know, he's got a son who has you know, some health issues, and he's talking about going to the children's hospital. And I said, you know, you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have this money to just donate. You can donate your time. You can donate, like Paul Goldschmidt in Arizona loves going to the children's hospital, and that was his thing. I love our military. I still love going to the children's hospitals, but you know, you got to have a passion for something you're going to spend a lot of time doing. And you know, Lope said he would love to do that. And he's done golf tournaments and stuff like that. So, you know, I try to offer that information up. You know, whether you may not be able to afford a suite every Saturday night, but for the most part, you can at least go and spend your time with those guys and spend your time with veterans. If I was a guy who had a lot of time and their passions for the military, they can go see the veterans and hang out with them, because they don't get to hang out with ball players very often. And I appreciate what they do and what they did, and so that's like I said, it's kind of our thing.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it. Well said, Ian, and thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And tell the guys that were throwing seeds at you that they are on camera too. So
yeah, that's what Skoglund, Keller of all people.
Yeah, a rookie. Boy, have times changed.
Well, it's our whole dugout. It's our whole team.
So just let them know if you need evidence at Kangaroo Court, we have evidence.
Okay.
We have video evidence.
Ian, you have one of the most beautiful families I've ever seen. Congratulations, and enjoy your off season.
Thank you, guys.
Here's a ground ball into right center field with the runners going with 2 outs. So Alonso will get Ramirez to the plate. And the Indians have a 2-1 lead.
Interesting now, with 2 outs, you're typically not going to run your guys like hit and run, especially with Alonso. But you know what? It worked. Hey, look. But it's 3-2 count. Yeah, so 3-2 count, they are going to be moved. But still, Alonso shortened up his swing and found a hole. And that's important, as Francona, I watched him down there, was applauding. He was that way to go.
Well, that play right there is the kind of play that helps you win playoff games. You know, Alonso would probably like to hit a home run right there, drive one to the gap, but in a playoff game, when you're facing a good pitcher every single game, either a top-notch starter or the back end of the bullpen, putting the ball in play and avoiding a strikeout, those are the kind of runs that win playoff games.
Especially with 2 outs.
It's been a 26 pitch inning for Junis, so Cal Eldred jogs out there to allow him to catch his breath, figure out what to do with Melky Cabrera, who was 1 for 1 tonight and 11 out of 27 against the Royals this year. It's Donaldson at third, and Alonso, who just drove in the run at first. Backdoor sliders in for a strike. It's interesting talking to Ian about, you know, the advice or the questions he gets from the young players and how, what do you do when you don't have your A game? Another base hit for Melky Cabrera against the Royals, and that's bobbled in right by Bonifacio. And now Alonso will move up 90 more feet. The Indians have 2 in the 3rd inning, and Melky Cabrera update the numbers to 12 for 28 against the Royals this year.
Clean single. Bonifacio, he just swiped at it. Instead of letting the ball come to him, watch it. He just kind of swipes at the ball instead of letting the ball come in.
And I don't think Alonso was going to try and go first to third there.
Absolutely not. He'd already shut it down.
So it's a single and an error 9. And the long inning as far as pitch count goes continues for Junis. That was pitch number 30. And it's 1-1 on Yan Gomes. And it started with a strikeout. Junis struck out Michael Brantley. Swung over it. 1-2. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him. So it's a long inning. The Indians get 2 and take a 3-1 lead. and Christy Green are season ticket members and big supporters of Alex's Lemonade Stand, Noah's Bandage Project, childhood cancer, and Royals Charities. Season ticket members since 2015. That was good timing. Shane and Christy purchase a game used ball from the Authentic store to give to a fan as a personal souvenir every game they are here. Throughout the years, they have given game used balls to kids, veterans, or anyone who might have just missed catching a home run or a foul ball. They get to sit in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seats tonight.
Great thing to do. Baseballs make people happy.
Mondesi tried to bunt, and it looked like bunting for a base hit in the first inning. Whit Merrifield singled and stole second, so it was a good play by Mondi. If he gets a hit, great. If he doesn't, he gets the runner to third with one out, but he popped it up, and Kluber made the play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mondesi starts in his 22nd consecutive game. 2-2. Royals scored their run with a 2-out RBI single from Valoria back in the second inning, and then the Indians just got 2 in the top of the third. 3 balls, 2 strikes with Gordon and Dozier coming up. And a leadoff walk.
Come out to the cave for the season's final family fun day Sunday tomorrow, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Enjoy pregame activities for the whole family, including face painters, games in the outfield experience, and pregame player autographs with signature Sundays. After the game, kids under 14 can test their speed, round on the bases on the outfield with the Kansas City Zoo Fun Run. Get your tickets at Royals.com/Sunday.
Check swing. He went around. Kerwin Danley is the crew chief and third base umpire. Alex flied out to deep left in the first inning, driving Brantley to the warning track. Kluber is well aware of Mondesi, who has 30 stolen bases, which is 4th in the league in 73 games.
Pretty much dominant. Can run at will.
There he goes. Swung on a miss, and the throw hit Alex.
Oh no. That could be bad for Jan Gomes. Ooh, man.
So Alex is hurting and Gomes is hurting.
Oh, Gomes is in trouble. Gomes. Wow. And he's leaving. He's hurt.
And he cut his finger. Ooh. Alex swung and missed at the pitch. And right now they are calling on Alex interfering with the throw, and Mondesi is going to go back to first base, but now the umpires are huddling over by the first base line to talk about it.
Oh man, this is too bad. Okay, Alex, you stay. Oh, it was the end
right
of
off
the bat. Oh no. And it didn't. To me, Alex did not lean over. I mean, to me, he wasn't interfering, but they're saying the bat did. Oh man, that's too bad for the Cleveland Indians. That's a huge blow.
So Alex is out for batter interference, and Mondesi has to go back to first base. Mike Estabrook is the home plate umpire. There's Roberto Perez getting the gear on very quickly.
Alex couldn't control his bat. That was his follow through. Jan Gomes, he's their A catcher.
Well, their first playoff game, I believe, is Thursday. So if it's a, you know, if it ripped a fingernail or it's just a cut on the finger, there's some time for that to heal.
Oh, you hope so.
There's not many broken bones on his right hand, but the bat was clearly right in his throwing path. Friday actually is game 1, so they have almost a week.
Good for them.
So Hunter Dozier with Mondesi at first and 1 out. Now a pitch out with Mondesi going, so they test Perez right away. That's a good strategy, and Mondesi ends up with a stolen base anyway. That is his 31st.
He went in hard. Jose Ramirez, he was covering the base, and actually kind of a dangerous play there, as he really was trying to pick that ball, but he was right at the sliding path of Mondesi, and fortunately for Ramirez, he's not walking off injured.
Dozier took a called 3rd strike in the first inning. Didn't mean to go around there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's really good that Mondesi gets up there. When you want to steal the base, you get even with the bag or even inside. It's a shorter distance, and that way you get there quicker. Some base stealers would even get inside to that base just to make sure when they turn, the straighter the line, the quicker you get there. Some guys start out here, and you have to eventually get back into the line. So he's smart enough to understand that already. It's going to help him by a couple of inches. Now when there's 2 outs, you want to back up so you can cut the corner at 3rd base a lot sharper.
Grounded out to Alonso, handles a tough hop and goes to the bag. So 2 down, and Mondesi goes to 3rd.
Mondesi got a 12-foot lead. That's plenty for him. Sprints speed to first, 29.8. It's nice he's got a little slide pad there too on that left side.
So Ryan O'Hearn, who took a called 3rd strike on a tremendously wide strike zone in the 2nd, comes up and takes a slider for a strike. Remember, we had a play in Toronto, and there are different types of batter's interference. One where the batter is out, in the case here with Alex Gordon, and that's because Alex's backswing interfered with the catcher's throw. That's a swing, and it's 0-2. Ryan O'Hearn is getting no luck at all tonight. But there was a play in Toronto where the runner was going, And there was a backswing that made contact with the catcher, not interfering with his throw or his throwing hand or arm, and that's just the backswing interference. The runner returns to the bag, but the batter is not out. In this case, interfering with the throw, Alex is out, and that kind of turned the inning around, and the Royals are scoreless in the bottom of the third. (3-1) Cleveland, top of the fourth inning. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Jason Kipnis bounces it into right field for a leadoff hit. He is 1 out of 2. And for the Indians, that is their 8th hit tonight.
Mo lottery replay shows Kipnis short and quick to the ball on that 91 in the middle.
Francisco Lindor grounded out in the first, and then he took a swipe at a 3-0 pitch in the second inning and popped out. Changeup is down and away. We'll see if that's a pitch that Junis uses a little bit more of next year, his changeup.
Yeah, sure, along with some of the other things they've asked him to do, he probably will need that, especially against left-handed batters. It goes away from him. And a pitch that really Phil Meyer, Keller, even Sparkman have all really thrived on.
Jammed him. Bonifacio is there. 1 out in the fourth inning. So here's where Junis is in his 30th start of the year. Changeup 6% of the time.
Yep, and all of those other others really set up the slider, which is his best pitch, strikeout pitch.
Michael Brantley with 1 out. Sliders in for a strike. Brantley singled and scored in the first inning, and then Junis struck him out in the third. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. We know that Junis admires his mound opponent tonight, Corey Kluber, and they both have a terrific slider. They both have a good sinking fastball. Kluber has that cut fastball, so he has more pitches, more effective pitches at this point in his career. But look at the numbers anyway, and it's fun to compare the two through their first 45 starts, and that was Junis's last start, his 45th. And there are some similarities. Grounded out to Witt, out at second, and Mondesi to first, just in time for a double play. So the leadoff single is harmless, and Junis faces only 3 in the 4th. Ram, hurry in and get a great deal during Ram Power Days. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery with Steel. Search STIHL. (3-1) Cleveland, and the Royals will have Bonifacio, Goodwin, and Escobar in the bottom of the 4th inning. So we were talking about comparing Jacob Junis to Corey Kluber through their first 45 starts. So that's before tonight. You have to go back a few years for Kluber, but Kluber's ERA was a little bit lower. They had the exact same amount of innings pitched. Their strikeout to walk ratio was very similar. Kluber perhaps a little more advanced in that area with more strikeouts, but one thing that stood out for me, Kluber was 28 when he made his 45th start. Junis 26.
Yeah, it's impressive. For Junis, he'd love seeing that. Just keep it up. It's tough when you go head-to-head with somebody like Kluber. It's going to be really stingy for any offensive run support for your team.
Three balls, 1 strike. Bonifacio reached with an infield single in the 2nd inning and scored the Royals run on a 2-out RBI by Maybreeze Valoria. And now Bonifacio's on with a leadoff walk. That's the 2nd inning in a row that Kluber has walked the leadoff man.
Okay, we talked a lot about the comparison. Why don't we compare their sliders together? Look at the grip. The grip's a little bit similar. I mean, it's not exact right, but the slider is. Watch for the dot. See how the little dot, both of them have a little dot on the seams? That means it's thrown perfectly. Now watch this. Watch their right hand. Watch what they both do. They both go to their belt buckle. Interesting. Same mannerisms.
Oh, and 1 to Brian Goodwin. He took a called third strike in the second inning. Oh, and 2.
Cleveland Indians talked about Carl Willis, their pitching coach, last night a little bit. He's in his 15th season overall as a major league pitching coach. But man, if Corey Kluber could get the Cy Young, that will give him 5 Cy Young winners that he's coached. Amazing. I don't know if there's another pitching coach in the world that can say that. He was with Cleveland Indians early. In 05, he had CC Sabathia. Okay. Then in 08, he had Cliff Lee in Cleveland. And then he went to Seattle, and he was with Eric Wedge, the manager there, and he had King Felix in 2010. And then, of course, the Red Sox in 2016, Rick Porcello. Talk about a resume as a coach.
Mickey Callaway was the pitching coach last year when Kluber won it, and now he's the manager of the Mets.
Carl Willis, he's had a nice career. His nickname is Train, and Monty was a teammate of his, and I said, Monty, why'd they call him Train? And he said, toots his own whistle. Monty made his train sound. That was perfect.
Goodwin strikes out. Kluber has 5.
And Willis, he could toot his own horn.
Well, speaking of Cy Young winners, our sprint trivia question. Name the most recent pitcher in each league to win a Cy Young Award and a World Series title in the same season. Wow. Escobar takes a cutter for a strike. Esky had an infield single to extend the second inning. Setting up Mabry's Valoria RBI base hit. Well,
I think I have a guess. I don't know if it's right.
It's only one way to find out.
Former teammate of mine. I claim him. He don't claim me.
Cabrera makes a play. Now remember, we're talking about the most recent, not just anybody, the most recent.
Well, I know I'm old, but that hasn't been. Randy Johnson. How about the big unit? That's a guess. It's his name. Put it out there. Go ahead.
In 01 with Arizona.
Diamondbacks. Him and Schilling were co-MVPs in the World Series.
Valoria swung at the first pitch in the second inning with 2 on and 2 out, and blooped one over the second baseman Ramirez for an RBI. Well, let's see. Did any Astro win it last year?
I don't remember.
A Cub the year before?
I remember Keuchel.
Yeah, he didn't win it last year.
No.
Bounce through the middle. Valoria is 2 for 2 against Kluber. Bonifacio stops at second base. It's just that easy.
Yeah, when you're hot, you're hot. It's good. 2 hits in a row consecutive. That's the top of the zone, and he's able to find a hole with a good, short, compact swing. Bonifacio did the right thing by holding tight with 2 outs here.
So Kluber won it last year, so no Astro won it. I don't think a Cub won it in 16. What, Arrieta won it the year before? A Royal didn't win it. I don't think a Giant won it in 14. The Red Sox won in 13.
Porcello was in 16.
Okay.
I'm getting some encouragement by saying run Randy Johnson out there.
Well, then run Randy Johnson out
run
there.
him up the pole.
Randy Johnson. Strike one. No, it's correct.
Oh, this is getting ready to go. Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Ding.
So that's the National League.
Okay.
One and one on Witt. He is singled to extend his hitting streak to 19 games, tying his career high, and then he stole 2 bases in the first inning. Kluber got him a pop out to short in the second. One ball, 2 strikes.
Randy Johnson and I were teammates in '88 with the then Montreal Expos, in case anybody was wondering. Traded him to Seattle.
I'll bet somebody was wondering.
Well, it might be somebody. Might have said, "Wow."
Hit well to right field, and Melky Cabrera misplayed it. 1 run is home. Here's Valoria, and the game is tied. Melky Cabrera came charging in on that line drive, and it sailed on him. And Witt gets a double.
Hey, look, that's Christmas. Sometimes comes early. He'll take it though. Kidding me? On the hit pursuit, give him the hit. Melky played it into a double, but as he came running in, didn't realize the backspin on that ball that Whitley had on it, put a charge into it, went right through his glove.
Good for Witt.
Yes.
What a country.
Yeah, no question. And Kluber's saying, really?
Yeah, because those become earned runs. So for now, it's 191 hits for Witt and a 3-3 tie. And here's Mondesi with a chance to put the Royals in front.
Some pretty good home cooking.
Fouled it off of his leg. Ouch.
That's a tough read. A hard hit ball like that, you don't know what the spin is, the level. It's not really high in the air. It's coming right at you. So he came in, he misjudged it by coming in thinking that it was going to have some sink to it, when in turn it had backspin on it. And they slammed the brakes on. There's nothing worse as an outfielder when you make a mistake like that.
As I said, I'm very happy for Witt.
Exactly.
I'm guessing at some point tonight he will say the Pledge of Allegiance. Backing out of play, 0-2 on Mondesi. Tried to bunt his way on in the first inning and popped out. And then he walked and stole a base in the third. With Merrifield's 2 stolen bases and Mondesi's stolen base, now the Royals have 71 since the All-Star break. That's the most in the major leagues by a pretty wide margin. Mondesi and a diving play. Ramirez, he is out at first base. Play at the plate. He is safe. Now that's important because if the Royals challenge here, that is the 3rd out at first if the call stands. But it was a smart play by Alonso to go to the plate, and for Merrifield to go to the plate, and the home plate umpire Mike Estabrook still made the call even though Mondesi was called out. And it looks like from that angle looked like the throw got there before his hand.
Well, you know what, they've done many studies and do you get there faster running through the base or sliding, and most have said running through the base you get there quicker.
Never forget my high school coach in '84. The Olympics were in LA, and he said, don't you think, here's another look, did he make contact? Well, and Alonso's foot appeared to be on the bag. But anyway, my high school coach said, don't you think an Olympic sprinter who's been training his whole life for the Olympics, if it was faster to get across the finish line by diving, that they would dive across the line even though they might get scraped up?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I got his point. The fastest guys in the world run through the tape. The crowd is reacting, and I don't know. They don't have as tight a shot as we've had. The Indians are walking off the field. From this angle here, it looks like his hand got there, but did he actually make contact with the bag? Yeah, he's out. So that's a great run-saving play by Jose Ramirez, and we're tied at 3. By October 26th for a chance to hit for your seats and receive some free parking. If you're interested, go to royals.com/STM. Season ticket members to renew now. And Kayla Shively's here from Royals Season Tickets, and I left out some of the details on that promo because I thought it'd be more interesting to talk to you about it. And hit for your seats.
Yes.
Never heard of anything like that before.
Well, we've been very excited to finally announce this year. For the first time ever here at the K, season ticket members can come out and try and hit a home run to get free season tickets. So what they'll need to do is renew their season tickets by October 26th, and then on November 1st they can come out to the K. They'll get 5 pitches, and then they can hit a home run. That's what we're hoping.
Line drive back to Junis. So Ramirez just made an excellent play to save a run, and now he's the victim of a good play. 1 away. So you get 5 pitches.
5 pitches.
Now, I'm thinking about the ways to get around this here. Now you have to present your ID. You can't just bring some ringer who's going to claim to be you, right?
Well, you can bring a proxy.
I mean, I wouldn't do that. HUD might do that, but
believe it.
You might get asked to come do it,
hey,
but
look,
you can't.
I'm game, but I'd have to hit it twice to get it out of this ballpark.
So renew your season tickets by October 26th, and then November 1st. You get a chance to come out here at Kauffman Stadium, and you get 5 pitches.
Yes.
And if you hit one out, your season tickets are free.
For free. Yep. But we'll have lots of other prizes. I know it's not easy to hit a home run, so we'll have nets out in the outfield. We'll have all kinds of great things going on.
How about that?
So,
I've never heard of anything like that before.
If I'm hitting, I would want to know who's throwing to me.
A pitching machine.
Okay, I'll be a machine.
See how to leave out the chance.
And that's good, though. That'll be a set a speed where it's going to be easier to hit, and plus it's more accurate.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And not only the free season tickets, but you get some parking advantages too, right?
Yes. October 26th is an important date. You would get free parking for March, April, and May.
Okay.
You renew your parking package. So
now this is just renewing. What if someone wanted to become a season ticket member before October 26th?
Call us. If you purchase season tickets before that date, then you get all of these benefits.
You qualify as well.
You get all of these benefits.
Okay.
It's for everybody. The opportunity is there.
How about that, Hud?
I like it.
You know? So you think you're basically...
You gonna buy some season tickets?
No, but I might want to come and be a little fly on the wall and just check it out.
You should come.
Might have to.
High foul, and over at the tarp, Dozier just ran out of room. It's still 1 ball and 1 strike. This is exciting.
It's great.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
Okay.
I mean, hit for your seats is going to be huge.
Okay. Now, I would imagine you're getting more questions about season tickets with the way the team has played in the second half compared to the first half.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. People are excited. We're starting to see some Mondesi playing so well, so it's fun. They're excited. I mean, I think this year that we're really focusing on things like hit for your seats, the parking, flat season ticket prices, all kinds of benefits. We do an exclusive bobblehead just for season ticket members.
Okay.
So we do a lot of exciting things.
Now, are you only eligible if you're a full season ticket member? So even if you're a partial season ticket member, you can come out and swing for the fences.
Exactly.
All right. Here comes Bonifacio, and he'll make the play. Well, Kayla, thanks for dropping by.
Yes, thank you for letting me come on.
That is a unique opportunity.
Yes.
October 26th. That's the important date. Thanks, Kayla.
Thanks, Kayla.
Royals 3, Indians 3. Middle of the order's coming up against Corey Kluber. Alex Gordon has flied to the warning track and left and out on batter interference, which knocked Yan Gomes out of the game. Alex had swung and interfered with Yan Gomes' throw. Gomes basically threw the ball off of Alex's bat, and it looked like his hand hit the bat and was bleeding, and so he came out and Roberto Perez took over.
Yeah, that's too bad. Hope he's okay. We haven't gotten a report.
Corey Kluber is on a pitch count, right around 80 pitches in his final tune-up before the playoffs. So this will probably be it for him. And they're already starting to move around in the Indians bullpen. Cutter, and that strikes out Alex. That's 6 for Kluber. Back to our sprint trivia question. Name the most recent pitcher in each league to win a Cy Young and a World Series in the same season. Correctly identified Randy Johnson in 2001 in the National League.
Okay, that's 01. We got to go back. Got to go into the 90s. 90s. That's going to be hard.
Well, it's the most recent pitcher in each league. So 01 was the most recent National League. But I've been told that the American League one preceded 2001. So we do have to go back. Dozier is 0 for 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Two and 1. Run it up there. Dozier, good swing on a slider away. He's on with 1 out.
You want to hit a big league slider from a Cy Young Award winner? This is what you do. You wait and you lean out over the plate. You got to wait though. You see the way, freeze it right here. Oh, it's okay. I'd like it though. Look at the balance, but the head position is right there. He went with the pitch. See, his hands didn't roll over till after his follow through started. Stayed through it. Nicely done.
Ryan O'Hearn. That's a swing. He's had a bad time tonight against Kluber with check swings he didn't agree with, pitches that appeared to be way out of the strike zone, and he is struck out looking and swinging. Let me ask you a question, Hud. Last inning, game on the line, second to last game of the year. You're going to go up to the plate taking pitches or swinging?
Depends on where you are in the standings. Where are we? If
it's close, standings are close, meaningful games.
I'm not going to hack.
All right, so then why do you write down names on the notes and then I say go ahead, run it up there, and you say no.
I don't want to be embarrassed, but
let's go.
How about Brett Saberhagen?
How about Brett Saberhagen?
What?
You're right.
Hey, come on, you got to hack.
Come on, Mr.
If you don't hack, they'll send you back.
There you go.
Hey.
Mr. Diving headfirst into the tarp in St. Louis, busting your head open.
How lucky was that?
You know?
Look at him. Saves
running with your hair on fire as a player in your career.
Hey, Whitey Herzog said I was the only guy that he ever knew that they got a standing ovation for getting thrown out at third. What about that for a compliment?
We'll put that on your Hall of Fame plaque.
I was the worst. Anyway, hey, ding, 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 ding.
2 guesses, both correct. How about that?
That's out of right field. Kluber hadn't been very nice to O'Hearn tonight. A couple punch outs, one swinging, one looking.
Alonso and foul ground makes the play. 2 down. So just want to give everyone some insight, because I think the trivia question has been popular this year. People like to guess along with us. Sometimes we wait too long and they don't know the answer, but this is what Hud does all the time. He'll have a bright idea and he'll look at me and he'll go, and he'll write it down on his paper. Okay.
Now what? Now you're going to show him my spelling's bad.
Saberhagen.
Did I spell it right?
So I look at him and I said, well, go ahead, take a shot. That's a good one. And then the nonverbal. No. Come on, it was right.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. Fall in there.
Brantley makes a play in left field on Bonifacio, so that's it for the Royals, and that's probably it for Kluber. They'll see the Indians bullpen the rest of the game. 3-3 tie. Here's David Wright saying goodbye to Mets fans and baseball. He was in the lineup tonight, and he had a couple of plate appearances, and this had been planned for a while that he was going to get an at-bat of some sort on Friday. He was going to be in the starting lineup on Saturday, and so they found a moment in the middle of the game where they could pull him out and the focus could be on him, and he's going to call it a career.
Wow, it's pretty special. Sellout crowd there looked like to me. You get that many New Yorkers, you know you had a career. Congratulations.
And he was trending toward Cooperstown for a while there, and then one neck and back injury after another, most of which required surgery.
Now, that was an outstanding ovation, but it was no victory lap around the ballpark like Cal Ripken did. That was a totally different situation.
Two and one on Alonso. Two balls, two strikes. Alonso's driven in a run tonight. Cleveland scored in the first. The Royals tied it in the second. Cleveland got two in the third, and the Royals tied it in the fourth, with Maybreeze Valoria in the middle of both Royals rallies.
Go ahead, Maybreeze. This might be his final start of the year. Leave a good impression. He's not done. You know, listen to a few of those Lexington players. Where did Maybreeze come from? Wilmington. Hear them say that they got emotional when he got called up. They wept for him. They were so excited. You know, he'll never forget that. Ooh, man. Junis wanted that. Rarely does he show emotion. It's a big pitch for him on a pretty good hitter. Right at the knees. That's what you wanted. Look at Junis. Had a little hop and he kind of turned sideways.
It has been an inconsistent strikeout or strike zone tonight. Still 3-2. Grounded out to Witt in shallow right. Alonso doesn't run well, so Witt has plenty of time. One down in the 6th inning. Let's go to Joel.
Well, Ryan, we're at that point now where a lot of guys are talking about taking a break for a month, recharging the batteries. But for Jorge Bonifacio, we know it was a tough year because he had the 50-game suspension. So he's going to go back to the Dominican Republic. Said he's going to take a week to chill out. He'll get back to working out after a week, and then he'll do what he almost always does: play winter ball for his Dominican team, Licey. But instead of playing a limited schedule, he wants to get more work in. He says it's so important right now to continue working on that timing, maybe try to play the regular season of 50 games. He says that he needs to get some of those at-bats back that he lost. So chomping at the bit, ready to get to work, is Jorge Bonifacio.
Good attitude to have. After all, it was his mistake,
which he owned up to immediately. Melky Cabrera's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Alex comes up and left, and there are 2 down. It'll be Andrew Miller in the bottom of the 6th inning with Goodwin, Escobar, and Valoria coming up. Junis has set down the last 7 Indians. And here's Roberto Perez for the first time. Slider bends in for a strike. So Miller indeed is coming in. And Corey Kluber ends his season with a 2.89 ERA. His ERA went up 6 points tonight. Could have been different with a different scoring play in right field on a misplay by Melky Cabrera.
That's right.
I think it was an error.
I do too. Well, I'm happy for the home cooking.
We're happy for Witt.
Yeah, we are. I don't know Corey Kluber that well, but he could go in there and say, you know what, talk to Melky, what the heck, you know, they could try to do something with that, try to get it changed. I hope not for Witt.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, the argument being you can't call an error on a guy who misjudges the ball. Well, if you lose it in the sun or in the lights, that's one thing. But if you just run to the wrong spot, I mean, if an infielder misjudges the ball and whiffs a ball hit right to him, I mean, that's an error.
Yep.
Check swing. And Junis, third time to the order, has retired the first 8. Tied at 3 to the bottom of the 6th.
Lots of love in that Royals dugout for him. A lot of smiles. And they should. Fantastic outing against the 3-time Central champs Cleveland Indians, who had their A lineup in there. Those are well-deserved hugs. And parents and grandparents, the perfect gift for your young Royals fan is now 50% off. Purchase the 2018 Sluggers Blue Crew box for just $15. Membership includes a jersey, flat bill cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 ticket vouchers, and much more. Purchase your discounted membership now at the stadium or online at royals.com/Blue Crew.
Brian Goodwin leads off our Sonic Slam inning. He hit a grand slam last night. Fortunately not in the Sonic Slam inning. William Isaacson from Richmond is tonight's contestant. A home run out of the park is worth $1,500. A grand slam, $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Andrew Miller pitched in game 1 on Thursday night, going an inning and a third, and he gave up 1 hit, no runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he's a Chevy call to the bullpen after Kluber goes 5 and gives up 3 runs on 7 hits. 1-2.
Tough arm angle to hit. He is a tough bird. 6'7", 220. Cutter from that fastball angle, from that arm angle, curveball, changeup.
One away.
The hardest thing, again, front shoulder, that right shoulder for a lefty. See how it's going to come open there? It's because of the deception of the sidearm and the slide on the ball, the spin.
Andrew Miller has been on the disabled list 5 times the last 2 years. He was an absolute beast in 2016 when the Indians went to game 7 and lost to the Cubs in the World Series. He was the ALCS MVP when Cleveland beat the Blue Jays to advance to the World Series. 0-2 on Eske. Eske has an infield single and he's flied out to right. Last year Miller was on the disabled list twice with knee problems. His right knee, and then early this year one on the DL with a left hamstring problem, then the right knee again in May, and then his left shoulder at the end of August. 1-2.
Well, I don't know what's worse. I guess for a pitcher, the shoulder or the elbow, but you know, when you're not able to have a good foundation, you're in trouble, because it starts in this game most from the ground up. You're having issues. You got knee problems.
Base hit left field for Eske. So he had already extended his hitting streak to 7 games in the 2nd inning. And Eske's hitting over 290 since the All-Star break.
Stays with the slider. Good job. He waited just a tick.
I am going to make a prediction, Hud.
Go ahead.
That wherever Eske lands next year, he will not be swinging for the fences in the first half of the season.
Okay.
He's had a couple of years in a row where that's set him back in the first half.
Yep, you're right.
But he still has enough legs to be a factor on the bases. I don't think he's going to steal 30 bases again, or even 20, but he had an infield single tonight. But I think he'll file away trying to set career highs with home runs and have an approach closer to his second half next year.
I think you're right, and for a team out there, they're going to take a chance on a guy with World Series experience. They can play any of the infield spots.
And the outfield if you need to.
Exactly.
Center field.
Yeah, he had a few starts in center.
Outside to Maybreeze Valoria. He had an RBI single against Kluber in the 2nd. And then another single in the fourth. And he eventually scored on Whit Merrifield's 2-out, 2-run double, which tied the game at 3. And now he hits it into left field, and Brantley is there.
Too bad.
Boy, if he gets a hit here, he would have had a hit to all fields tonight.
That's exactly what you want to do off of Miller. If you're a left-handed hitter, that keeps that right shoulder closed.
All right, let's talk some running, HUD. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Oh, I mean, talk about a jump. That was a jump and a half. He was halfway, and then here comes third base. Uncontested. You want Mondesi? You got him. Okay, a little more contact than he wanted.
Ramirez doesn't look 100% comfortable at second base.
No, and before the series started, as I talked to Brad Mills, their infield instructor, about the move with Donaldson at third, and that's exactly what hit, and Ramirez at second. Well, you would think that Ramirez wouldn't have any trouble adjusting to that, but there's been some issues over there.
I remember him playing there the most when he was first called up. He's a natural shortstop, but he was getting playing time at second base, if I recall correctly, more than any other position. Shot foul past Mike Jershely. And that's a concern. Infield defense in the playoffs. That was a big factor in games 4 and 5 of the World Series in 2015. Some plays that weren't made by a second baseman.
Better believe that.
Three and one. Whit gets a base hit tomorrow. He'll finish the year with a career high 20-game hitting streak. His 19-gamer is the longest in the major leagues. Current. And he's on for a third time with a walk. And now that Miller and Perez have a very quick chat about what they want to do with Mondesi, or maybe talking about the series of signs with a runner at second base now. Mondesi is 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. In the air, deep left center field. It is gone. Mondesi. You got Mahomes on one side of the parking lot and Mondesi on this side of the parking lot.
The M&M boys. How about it, man? I'll tell you what. Both of them young guns, no question. Both sides of the plate. He's a threat.
Congratulations to William Isaacson, who just won $1,500. He is something.
Ding, 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 ding. Man, oh man, he barreled. You could tell by, by the sound. It had a nice launch angle to it. You wondered if it was going to get far enough. Okay, there it is, the launch angle, 26. I thought it would have some 30s in there, so that's more on the line. Ooh, man. Oh, left in a hurry. That's not what Terry Francona wants to see from his left-hander. Of course, Francona's probably just seeing how he does against right-handed batters, and Miller will probably continue to be his left-handed specialist.
Well, the last time they went deep into the playoffs 2 years ago, I mean, they had a shutdown bullpen, maybe second only to the Royals the 2 years before. They were gaining that reputation of once you get into the 6th inning, the game's over with their bullpen, and not so much in 2018. We watched their closer Cody Allen last night come on with a huge lead and was only able to get 1 out and gave up 4 runs. 2-2 on Alex, and he grounds it to the right side of second base. No play. Lindor couldn't quite get to it, and by the time Ramirez picked it up, Alex has an infield hit. He is 1 for 4.
The ball left his bat, and he smelled a hit right away. You could tell. All right, I got a chance. There's nobody going to get that.
The inning began with a strikeout, and Miller looked like the Andrew Miller we think of when he struck out Goodwin with some nasty sliders. And Escobar had a line drive base hit to left. Valoria lost a hit on a running play by Brantley in left. Then the walk to Witt. And Mondesi jumped on the first pitch with a 3-run home run, and now Gordon has a single. And here's Hunter Dozier, 1 for 3. Interesting, Cody Allen last night, Hud, he began his inning with a strikeout and ended up giving up 4.
You know what, Ned Yost today, one of the most impressive things of last night's terrible loss was that his guys don't quit. He says, look, we forced their closer out of the game. We kept coming back. Nice characteristic that we've seen before from Ned Yost's teams.
Yeah, he was saying, you know, when you're talking about coming back and winning or a walk-off, the emotion just kind of takes care of itself. I mean, hey, let's come back, let's win this game. We've tied the game, let's win the game. But when you are down by 11 runs in the 9th inning, that same energy is not in the dugout. There's another base hit. And let's see if Miller is even able to finish this inning.
Francona, he looks like he's kind of stirring around in that dugout, but this is a ball up. That's what you do. Look up, especially if you're a right-hander. That ball's in, coming inside. Looked like that was his cut fastball. Dozier's able to get to it.
So anyway, just to finish the thought, if you're down by 1, I mean, the energy's there. When you're down by 11, you have to manufacture that energy.
Exactly. Really hard to find.
Ryan O'Hearn had a tough night against Kluber with 2 strikeouts and a foul out. He had a base hit against Miller on Thursday night going the other way into left field. That's down and away, 2-0. And now Miller snaps at that throw back by his catcher. Two and 1. Miller was pitching him away, and he just hit a line drive past Donaldson at third, and Donaldson was standing then where he is now, well off the bag. This time he goes up the middle. That will drop. Here comes Alex around third. He'll score. Dozier goes to third, and the Royals have 4 against Andrew Miller in the 6th inning.
Francona, he can't stay in that dugout any longer. He's coming right out. And for O'Hearn, way to go. Another hit off of a tough lefty. Now, he doesn't have a whole bunch of them, but he definitely can hit them. That's another one in good point for his resume.
Dan Otero is a Chevy call to the bullpen, and the Royals will be sending their 9th batter to the plate. Adalberto Mondesi.
He knew it. He just knew it. If you check him out when he took a step away from that batter's box, Andrew Miller's head goes down. That 3-run bomb. That's 14 on the season. 5 from the right side, 9 from the left side. He is equally pumped. Both sides.
And he's the guy to his left is now in line for a win, Jacob Junis, because of this 4-run inning. And now Bonifacio takes a strike. He's the 9th man up. Dan Otero will try and get the final out of the inning. 2 of the first 3 Royals in this inning made outs. And it still ended up being a 4-run inning. So last night, Terry Francona ran Cody Allen out there. He got 1 out and gave up 4 runs. Tonight he runs Andrew Miller out there. He gets 2 outs. And he's charged with 4 so far. Bonifacio, that's going to be caught by Lindor to end the inning. The Royals bat around and they score 4. Mondesi drives in 3 with a home run. For the win, pitching line. You know, his last 2 starts are almost identical. On Saturday against the Tigers scored 3 in the first 4 innings, and then he retired 8 of the last 9 and finished with a quality start. Tonight, the Indians scored 3 in the first 3 innings, and then he set down the last 8 and ends up with a quality start.
Man, they have a pretty good idea about next year's rotation right now. If there was just a strong finish, and this guy, he is the talk of the town. He should be.
One of the talks of the town.
That's right.
Yeah.
We talked about the other one. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, think about it. I mean, right now, I mean, the Chiefs are just getting going and off to a great start. And so everyone's talking about Patrick Mahomes, and there was a lot of pressure on him, you know, being a starting quarterback with very little experience. But I mean, you're talking about 2 of the most dynamic players in each sport. Their home games are right here at the Truman Sports Complex. No balls, 2 strikes on Kipnis as Tim Hill takes over in the 7th inning. They're almost the exact same age, by the way. Holtze told me that they're just 2 months apart in age, Mahomes and Mondesi. Escobar. And the throw is wide, but Dozier keeps his foot on the bag. So says first base umpire Bruce Dreckman. We shall see. And now Kipnis begins the jog back to the third base dugout while the Indians take another look.
Escobar gets to it, takes a little skip, a little hop, just pulled the throw. Looks like to me he's on there.
Ooh, man, it almost came off the end of his glove in between the webbing, though. You get those strings checked. Look at that. Uh-oh. Yeah.
He's working on his glove now.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Mahomes run, but I don't know if he can run with Mondesi. You know, he probably might have a better arm. I don't know. And I don't know. And Mahomes, coming from a baseball dad, he might could hit a little bit.
Yeah. No, he was a fantastic baseball player as well.
Yeah.
With that fly ball, Francisco Lindor is 0 for 4. Remember the old TV show Battle of the Stars, was it? You know, they'd compete on the beach. And
Network stars, wasn't it?
it was the athletes from different sports would compete against each
Oh,
other.
yeah, yeah,
obstacle course and a tug of war.
Yeah.
Let's we'll get Mahomes out here and have him field some ground balls deep in the hole, and we'll time him from home to third, and then we'll put the pads on Mondesi and see how he handles
physical contact.
Sitting in the pocket with 285-pound
6'5"
giants chasing him down and scrambling and throwing downfield.
Yeah, no,
I'll bet they both would do all right.
They would. It's a good comparison.
Terry Francona is going to get Cody Allen back in the saddle tonight. 0-1 on Brantley. He singled and scored back in the first inning. Tim Hill thought it was a strikeout. He was on his way off the mound.
Hill has an interesting arm angle too. He's a little bit like Andrew Miller, not obviously not as experienced, but that's a great spot across the place somewhere.
Still 1-2. The Royals have scored 7 runs in a game pitched by Corey Kluber and Andrew Miller in just 6 innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, now we knew that Kluber had an ERA over 6 here at the K against the Royals, so I was kind of expecting to score a few runs, but definitely not both of those guys. Another good showing.
Alex Gordon waits, and that's the inning. 3 up, 3 down against Tim Hill. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium, and the Royals lead 7-3. end the season is tomorrow afternoon. And Eric Skoglund, one of many Royals who have finished strong, will go up against Carlos Carrasco, another one of the Indian starters who's struck out over 200. Remember, tomorrow's game is an hour later than normal. It's 2:15. Major League Baseball a few years ago decided that they wanted all the games the last year of the season to start at the same time. Here's our Pepsi fans of the game. King Richard and Queen Sam.
Fantastic.
Kansas City's first signs couple.
Yeah, and we say thank you to you guys for being such dedicated fans every night, loving your Royals, very clever with your signs. We've had a lot of fun with you. Thank you.
Cody Allen, who gave up 4 runs in 1/3 of an inning last night, gets another chance tonight with Brian Goodwin leading off. So anyway, what was happening, and it happened to the Royals in 2014. Remember, the Royals, they clinched their playoff spot in Chicago, and then they had an outside chance of tying for the division. Remember, we thought there was a chance we could go to Detroit for a 1-game playoff. But we were in the Central Time Zone. The Tigers were in the Eastern Time Zone, so their game was an hour ahead. And then once the Royals found out that the Tigers won, well, then Ned took all of his starters out of the game, and it takes the air out of that game if you have a scenario like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that game, many games. Here's a base hit into right field for Goodwin, and he's going to run on Melky Cabrera. He is in there with a hustling double.
Boy, you gotta love that. That's all in his hands. He sees that. He doesn't need a base coach to tell him. He makes up his own mind. He blisters it. Now he comes out of the box. He's making up his mind. I'm going to take it. Let's go. We got a lead here. Throw me out. Look at Rosales' tag, man. He went right to it. Get there. Good late slide. Kept the momentum on it. It's a nice leg double.
You know, 2 guys tonight who had a rough night in their first 3 at-bats and still hanging in there with their 4th at-bat, coming up with big hits. Ryan O'Hearn struck out and fouled out in his first 3 at-bats. Then he gets an RBI single against Andrew Miller, one of the toughest lefties in the league. And now Brian Goodwin, who struck out in his first 3 at-bats tonight against Cody Allen, has a leadoff double. Foul back. So Major League Baseball a few years ago, all games start at the same time. 3:15 Eastern, 2:15 Central, 1:15 Mountain, 12:15 Pacific. So everybody's playing at the same time. So you don't have one game in the Eastern Time Zone that decides something in the Western Time Zone, and then you take all the drama out of the games that come later.
Yeah,
everybody starts at the same time.
Yeah, then you take your players, rest them, you know, whatever. I think it's a great move.
So 2:15 here tomorrow. 1-2 on Eske. Another base hit for Escobar. Here's Goodwin around 3rd, and the Royals have a 5-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Escobar going with the fastball. That's on the outer half of the plate. Just taking the chip away. Look at the head position, the balance, everything was nice. Yeah, stayed right with it. Didn't try to pull it.
He's hitting .303 now in the second half.
Fantastic. Another strong finish by another Royals player.
Maybreeze Valoria. Valoria drove in the Royals' first run with 2 outs in the second inning with a base hit against Kluber. In his second at bat, he singled and scored against Kluber. And now another bloop, and that's going to drop. Escobar stops at second base, and Maybreeze Valoria has a 3-hit game.
That's his first 3-hit game in his career. Congratulations. Hope you have many, many more. But again, fastball, Cody Allen, it's just not working for him. Number one, his velocity used to be in the mid-90s. It's not now. It looks like it's in the low 90s. So guys can get around on that. Typically, that would break his bat in half, and it would be a little 3 bounce to the second baseman. But lack of velocity, that was all that was wrong with that. He was in off the plate. Valoria just fought him off.
This is the second time in the last 2 innings that Carl Willis has had to go out there and try and help an elite reliever who is not experiencing eliteness at the moment.
That's right, a couple veteran guys.
So Allen is on the mound, Rosales is at short, Barnes is in left, and Greg Allen is in center. So Lindor, Brantley, and Kipnis are gone. Merrifield fouls it away. Oliver Perez getting ready to come in. Didn't mean to do it. No balls, 2 strikes. Witt extended his hitting streak to 19 games with a first inning single. He stole 2 more bases. He had a 2-run double in the 4th on a misplay by Cabrera in right. And then he walked and scored in the Royals' 4-run 6th inning. So, as is usual, he's been right in the middle of the Royals' offense tonight. One ball, 2 strikes. So Witt has 191 hits. Allen strikes him out. So the visit from Carl Willis paid off. That's out number 1. And here's Terry Francona with Mondesi coming up. Mondesi hit a 3-run home run off of lefty Andrew Miller last inning. And he'll get a chance to face another lefty, different style lefty, with 2 on, 1 out when we come back.
anticipation chases October's crown. The Major League Baseball postseason begins October 2nd. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule.
Oliver Perez has had a nice year. He's picked up the slack for other pitchers struggling in the Indians bullpen with a 1.42 in his 50 games. And look at that opponent's batting average. Yikes.
Yeah, and left-handers are hitting 180. Okay, that's typical for a good lefty to face lefties. Right-handers hitting 109, no homers off of him. Tell you about the deception this young man has. He's 36, still young
compared to you and me.
Right, but look, that fastball, he's got it. It's mid, low to mid 90s. Maybe a little bit lower 90s. Slider curve change, but different angles, different pauses, and all kinds of gyrations. I mean, he invents pitches, and he's really good. He could be a real difference maker in the playoffs.
A mile high. Perez makes the play. 2 down. The Royals scored their first 7 runs tonight with 2 outs. And remember the theme from the first half? The Royals just could not, for months, get a big hit. They'd get men on base, they just couldn't get the big hit. Look at this. Royals hit 218 in the first half with runners in scoring position. It's up to 281 in the second half.
That is a huge difference. It was frustrating. Remember all the double plays that our Royals rolled over and hit into double play after double play, and it was like, oh, skilled rallies.
Alex had an infield single after the Mondesi home run in the 6th inning and eventually came home on O'Hearn's base hit. Grounded into right center field, and the Royals are going to get another run with 2 outs. They have scored 9 tonight, and 8 have come with 2 outs.
That's going to just add to Alex Gordon's 290 with runners in scoring position, and we just showed you the big increase since the first half to the second half. Well, Alex is one of the big reasons. He's all of a sudden come on. His hands are loose. He's playing like the Alex Gordon in 11 and 12. He had some of his best seasons back then, and man, he's coming on now, and it's so good to see because you can tell it in his face. He's happier. They're all loose. They're all playing really good baseball. Returning the favor that the Indians gave him last night in that 10 spot they had on 1 inning.
The game was tied at 3 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Royals had 2 outs. They scored 4, and now they have 2 more in the 7th. Hunter Dozier has 2 of the Royals' 16 hits tonight. Up the right field line, Melky Cabrera makes the play, and that's the inning. Escobar and Gordon driving runs. It all started with a Brian Goodwin hustling double, and now the Royals lead is 6 to the 8th inning.
Jeff Montgomery getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live and a special fireworks presentation on a Saturday night. Hard to believe there's just over one game left, and this Royals team playing well.
Yeah, and if you didn't know which team's going to postseason, which team is going home after tomorrow, you would have a tough time guessing after tonight's game.
Well, it's been an incredible environment here, big crowd. We've got plenty coming up on Boulevard Royals Live.
Thank you, Joel and Monty. Alex Gordon has driven in 1 of the 9. The Royals, surprisingly, for the first half and beyond, had the worst record at home in the major leagues, which is something we're not used to here, but they're on their way to their 15th win in their last 19 games at home as Kevin McCarthy pitches the 8th with a 6-run lead, and he's outside, ball 1 to Jose Ramirez, who has 2 hits and a run scored tonight.
McCarthy's sinker baller, sinker, slider, change, curve.
And that's stroked into deep right center field, and Jose Ramirez is breaking out of his month-plus slump tonight. He is singled, doubled, and homered. Before the game started, Jose Ramirez was hitting 161 in his previous 38 games.
Sinker, or actually changeup, looked like to me. No, it wasn't. Little sinker that just took something off of. 89. He'll go high 80s, low 90s.
Encarnacion bounces it foul. 421 to right center field.
Package dynamite that guy is. He can run too.
Oh, 2 on Encarnacion. He drove in the first run tonight with a first inning sacrifice fly, his 107th of the year. Still 0-2, and that got Valoria. One out. Encarnacion never looked good in that at bat against McCarthy.
McCarthy dealing. Save the date for the Royals annual Fan Fest on Friday, January 25th and Saturday the 26th. Presented by Commerce Bank. Take a break from the cold weather and enjoy autograph sessions, interactive games, player interviews at the Kansas City Convention Center. Your tickets are just $5. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit royals.com/fanfest. This great strong second half finish, the Royals is going to add a little excitement going into Fan Fest next year. Believe that.
Good pitch to Donaldson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. What was that?
Oh, that's a violent look in by Donaldson.
Boy, Valoria, he's having a tough inning. Was that Donaldson on the follow through?
Yep, sure was. Sure where it got him. Let's see on his hand. Ouch.
Struck him out. Oh, nice bounce back from McCarthy. He gives up a long home run to Ramirez and then comes back and strikes out Encarnacion and Donaldson with ease.
McCarthy has been very impressive this year. That's a hard sinker. Look at the break he's getting, the movement on that pitch. No wonder. He's got confidence in him. Attacks the strike zone. Does exactly what Ned Yost wants when he brings a guy out of the pen. He came on last year towards the end of the year as well, and he really showed his stuff. So I'm not surprised he's having the kind of year he's having this year.
Well, it's one thing to be labeled a ground ball pitcher, but the numbers will say whether you're a ground ball pitcher or not. And McCarthy's ground ball rate is second best in the league among relievers and 5th in the major leagues. Only Zach Britton, who is pitching with the Yankees now, has a lower ground ball rate. And then right behind him is Tim Hill.
Yep.
So Britton is first, McCarthy second, Hill third. Highest ground ball rate among relievers in the American League. There's a ground ball foul. Brad Hand will get the bottom of the 8th inning. With some left-hand batters coming up, beginning with Ryan O'Hearn. Three and two. Now to go foul into the seats among the 23,224 here tonight. There's Jamie Quirk sitting behind home plate.
Hey, Jamie.
And that's low for a walk. That'll bring up Melky Cabrera. Melky has 2 hits tonight and an RBI. Also had a key misplay in right field, which helped the Royals tie the game in the 4th inning on a line drive by Whit Merrifield. And Melky, who knows this ballpark well, having played a couple of years with the Royals, didn't read the line drive, and it went off of his glove for a 2-run double. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ball was hit a lot harder, and it had a little backspin. That's why it rose above him. It didn't have topspin. He thought it was going to sink down. Graciously, official score here. Gave him a double. That's good for him.
One and two. Escobar runs into foul territory, so McCarthy gives up The run on the Ramirez home run. The Royals lead 9-4 to the bottom of the 8th.
That's some frenzy style hitting right there. One of my favorite videos, and of course the fans, they love it too.
Looks familiar. Brad Hand will get the bottom of the 8th inning. He is one of several defensive changes for the Indians. And he'll get O'Hearn, Bonifacio, and Goodwin.
Good combination between San Diego and Cleveland. Nice numbers. Hand's a very, very confident left-hander. 5 years in the big leagues, 28 years old, 6'3", 228. He's fastball slider, but changes speeds on his slider. Low 90s, very confident. So between Miller, Perez, and Hand, Francona thinks he has a decent core of left-handers in that bullpen. And I told you about Perez, the numbers he has against righties and lefties. He can leave him in. He brought him in to turn Mondesi around to the right side. That's confidence the manager has in him.
Big breaking ball is in for a strike. Ryan struck out in his first 2 at-bats, and then he fouled out in his 3rd, and then with 2 outs, singled against Miller and drove in a run in the 6th inning.
For his 4th hit off a lefty this year, 2 of those are homers.
Breaking balls popped up. Rosales brings it down in shallow left field.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Royals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Royals home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Jorge Bonifacio has scored twice tonight. Oh, 1. Well, if you're Terry Francona, who's very optimistic by nature and has won a lot of games as a big league manager because of that attitude, has to hope that they're just getting the bad one out of their system right before the playoffs. Thinking about his bullpen. So I'm just going over what the bullpen has done in this series. Cody Allen in the last 2 nights has gone 2/3 of an inning and has given up 6 runs on 5 hits. Andrew Miller in this series has gone 2 innings. He has given up 4 runs, 5 hits. And even though Oliver Perez wasn't charged with a run when he came on in the 7th inning, he gave up a run scoring hit. 2-2.
Yeah, but you mentioned it earlier. They don't start their series till next Thursday?
Friday.
Friday. Man, you know, that's a long time. I didn't have a chance to talk to him about what his plans are. Is they going to have some of the hitters see some live pitching during that week? A little simulated game action to stay game ready.
Intra-squad games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are done often when there's that long layoff. You want to see some live pitching.
And the Indians are talking about inviting the fans to come in and watch the intra-squad games just to give it a little emotion. Now, I think most people would say the long layoff in baseball is a bad thing. It didn't hurt the Royals in 2014 with the sweeps in the first 2 rounds. They had a lot of time in between series and really didn't slow them down.
Now, on the other hand, when the Royals were in the midst of when they won in 14 that wild card game, they went to Anaheim and faced the Angels, who had a week off, and so they swept the Angels, and of course we all know 8 straight postseason after that. So I asked Mike Scioscia the next year, Mike, did that layoff have something to do with the Royals sweeping your team? Absolutely not. My team was ready. He said that before I even got the word out of my mouth. So, you know, who do you believe?
Well, it's an everyday game for a reason. You play every day in spring training. You play every day in the regular season.
It's a timing game.
But I'm going to say this break is going to be good for the Indians because they have a lot of guys not playing well right now. And an opportunity to regroup, distance themselves from their final month of the season and recharge. 2 balls and no strikes on Goodwin.
Well, you hope so. I'm pulling for them. 1947 is a long time. Was that the date they won their last World Series? 40 in the 40s, I know.
48.
Okay.
It's the longest drought right now.
Right. And then they've been there a few other times, painfully lost.
1948.
48.
2-1 on Goodwin. You know, they had a 3-1 lead over the Cubs in 2016.
Painful.
Cubs won the last game in Chicago, so they took a 3-2 lead home and lost a couple of games. Good swing by Goodwin, who had a grand slam in the 9th inning last night. And tonight got a 2-run rally started in the 7th with a hustling double. Three and two. Brad Hand hasn't been particularly sharp in this inning.
No, and his tempo is showing it. Way too much time in between pitches.
Goodwin is on with back-to-back walks from Brad Hand, Bonifacio, and now Goodwin. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. Our director Steve Kurtenbach. Our producer is Kevin Cedergren, and our associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and Casey Carter. Alcides Escobar has 3 hits tonight. He's hitting over 300 since the All-Star break.
Have a night, Esky.
You know, the Indians, even though they haven't won a championship since '48, they've been to the World Series quite a few times since '95. But at one point they went 41 years in between World Series. Esky jolts it into deep center field. Allen will run it down, and there are 2 down.
Sounded good.
Sure did.
I thought it had a little more distance than it got.
And the crowd gives Esky a nice ovation. You know that famous catch we always see by Willie Mays in black and white at the Polo Grounds?
Over his shoulder.
Yep. That was in the 1954 World Series. And it was against the Indians. Vic Wertz hit that ball. Giants ended up winning that series in '54, and they did not go back to the World Series, the Indians, until '95. Maybreeze Valoria has his first Major League 3-hit game tonight. That includes an RBI and a run scored. Matter of fact, Kevin Cedergren tells me that catch happened on this date in 1954.
Cool.
Two balls, no strikes.
Well, as Valoria got his first big league 3-hit game tonight, why not just make it 4? Forget 3. Go for that 4th knock. So, and he's hit a couple of soft balls out there. It wasn't exactly hard shots. You don't have to hit them hard. Find a hole.
Three and 0, boy. Terry Francona's got to be thinking, let's get to that break in between the regular season and the postseason.
No doubt.
Man,
his bullpen does not look good in the series.
I mean, even last night they had that 10-run inning, but bullpen still gave up 5 runs in the 9th.
You know, that can leave some doubt in a lot of the players' mind in there, especially the position players. When you have a lead, and especially if the Royals have a good game tomorrow and they pounce on them tomorrow, it's going to be some little bit of
Three balls, 2 strikes. That's a good point, because it could change the mentality of the offense. And when the Royals at 14 and 15 and even 16, I think the offense mentality was, okay, if we can just get 1 run here and tie the game, or 1 run here and take the lead, this game's over. Where you might start seeing Indians hitters in the playoffs swinging out of their approach because they're thinking, man, we need 2, 3, or 4 runs here.
That's right.
And usually when you have that approach, the exact opposite happens. Runners go, and Valoria strikes out. So it wasn't pretty, but Brad Hand has a scoreless bottom of the 8th inning. And here comes Willie Peralta with a 5-run lead. Kansas City is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. It's been that kind of a night for the Indians and this kind of a night for the Royals. They have 9 more runs at home. They're about to take a 2-games-to-1 advantage in this series. Willie Peralta's on for a non-save situation. Have a tendency to just get caught up in our own world. And from the Indians' point of view and preparing for the postseason and us knowing how important bullpens are in the postseason, I imagine the Indians talk shows are going to be going wild this week.
Oh yeah.
But from the Royals' point of view, we just showed you the spike that the Royals have had hitting with runners in scoring position in the second half. Their 2-strike approach is much better. The Royals have scored 8 of their 9 runs tonight with 2 outs. Bounced up the middle. Mondesi is there and he has time and throws out Perez.
So what you're saying basically is, sure, the Cleveland bullpen hasn't had the kind of success that they wanted, but give the Royals some credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go. This is not a team right now that Francona is playing that's a 103 loss team.
And I'll bet he brings that up in his post-game show tonight.
Oh,
you know,
better believe it.
Facing a team that's swinging the bat well at the moment. Greg Allen hits for the first time, and a fastball's in for a strike. One and one on the switch hitting Greg Allen. In the playoffs, you can also turn a starter into a reliever, so that'll boost the bullpen. And it looks like that's what the Indians are going to do with Trevor Bauer. Carrasco is going to start tomorrow, but he'll have an abbreviated start, as Corey Kluber did tonight, and Bauer's had a broken leg, so he hasn't had a lot of time back from that. So that could be a weapon out of the pen.
There's no doubt about that, for sure. Now, Terry Francona, knowing how he manages and how well loved he is by his teammates, they're not worried. You got to have the horses, no doubt. You got to have those horses to win. But to have a manager who's experienced like that, and the fact that he's not saying I'll make the decision, Francona is saying we'll make the decisions and we'll find out. Telling me he's using everyone. Has input from his coaches, from the front office.
That's a fair ball past Dozier. And now Bonifacio is running it down. Got caught in that trough in between the dirt and the padded wall, and Allen ends up at third base with 1 out.
Well, Bonifacio, he's played here long enough to know that that ball hugs the wall and it caroms around. He took the wrong angle. We saw him do it in Pittsburgh, and now watch this. See, he wants to go around it over there instead of going right to it. You go to the spot where it's going to come back. He played that into a triple.
Here's Adam Rosales. He hits for the first time tonight.
Every world championship manager surrounds himself with quality coaches that can help him, and he uses them. He empowers them.
Hold, foul. 0-2. Jacob Junis had a quality start. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Tim Hill had a scoreless inning. Kevin McCarthy gave up 1 run in his inning. And that was a swing and a strikeout for Peralta with a runner at third and 1 out. Fan appreciation night tonight, and I think the fans have appreciated the Royals. Very similar to last night's game in that it's one-sided at the moment, but was close for the first, well, it was 5 innings tonight, 6 innings last night. Brandon Barnes takes low ball 1.
Well over 23,000 here tonight. I love it. Here comes the Let's Go Royals chant.
This is Brandon Barnes' first at bat. It's been a wide strike zone at times tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. In a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Royals scored 4 2-out runs. Mondesi hit a 3-run home run. And now grounded pass, Escobar to Mondesi. He slips, throws, and look at that pick by Hunter Dozier.
That puts an exclamation point on their second win here out of 4 against Cleveland Indians. What a release, what an arm strength, and also the pick. And Peralta showing some rare emotion. He loved it. Mondesi, given credit where it belongs, believe that. And the Royals continue to entertain the home crowd and a chance to win the series on the final day tomorrow. What a solid comeback and win here.
Yeah, they continue to finish strong. They've won 5 of their last 6. They have won 15 of their last 19 at home. And if they win tomorrow, they'll finish with 6 consecutive home series wins. Hard to believe that the Royals played as poorly as they did at home in the first half, because lately it's felt like the good old days.
Listen to the crowd. They're proud of their guys. I don't think Baltimore crowds cheering their guys.
No,
like
I don't think so. I think you're right. The biggest hit tonight was turned in by Adalberto Mondesi with a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. He's standing by with Joel.
Well, Adalberto Mondesi does it again. It's been a lot of home runs lately, but before we talk about that, it's your turn. It's your night. There's a little Foreski. Go ahead. Salvi's messing up some of the best hair in the league. Also one of the hottest hitters in the league. Before I ask you about the home run, it's been a tough year, but you guys are playing great baseball. How about the energy and the interest from this crowd here tonight and this weekend?
You know, we show up every day with energy, play hard every day for these fans, you know, send them happy home, and you know, we just come here and play hard every day for them.
They send them home happy, but also I think that a lot of people are really beginning to get excited already about next year. How excited are you about next year and the amount of talent that you have, young talent?
You know, just keep working and be ready for next year, and you know, like I say, give the fans what they want to see.
All right, well, I know that they like seeing your home runs. It doesn't matter left-handed, right-handed. They're almost all over 400 feet. Tell me about that home run against Miller.
You know, just try to stay short to the ball. You know, he threw me a good pitch to hit, and I just don't miss it.
Last thing, you have started every game now over the last few weeks. How comfortable do you, I know there's always things to learn, how comfortable do you feel right now in the big leagues?
You know, feeling pretty good right now. Just stay with my routine and be ready every day.
Keep swinging it. 1 more to go. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
There you go, Adalberto Mondesi. And look at that ovation from the crowd. Kind of get the sense we'll be seeing many of those over the years.
You know, Hud, I began a few months ago telling other announcers he will do something every series Now he'll do something every day, and it's becoming he's going to do more than one thing every day.
He
knock your eyes out.
Worth the ticket.